This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the final episode of 365 Days of the NES. I hope you have enjoyed it, and today we're going to look at a game that everybody in the world loves and wants to sleep with under their pillow and squeeze it and hug it and call it George, except for me. I want to play it once in a while and put it back in the closet, but getting ahead of myself. First, new, different worlds, new exciting levels, new challenges galore. Fight monsters and mini-bosses, avoid ghosts and the burning sun. Make your way through water and quicksand, dodge cannonballs and bullets, and rescue the King's Wand. In Super Mario Bros. 3, there are more warps, more chances at extra lives, and new special suits. The raccoon suit lets you fly and knock out blocks. The frog suit helps you outswim deadly fish. There are suits for every occasion. Store up flowers and mushrooms to use later on. Play game show type bonus rounds. Go back to that last screen and get a mushroom. Pause to take a break, then continue where you left off. Super Mario Bros. 3 is fun to play alone or team up with a buddy to prolong the adventure. From Nintendo, released in 1990, and I love, I love it, that a selling feature of this game is that you can pause it and take a break. Isn't that great? I wish every game had that. 86 people on GameFAQs thought this game was worth a 9.6, 2,923 people thought it was worth a 9.1, and 6 people thought it was worth a 9.8. Well, that just shows to go ya. Stuff. Yeah. Development was handled by Nintendo Entertainment Analysis and Development, NEAD. NEAD. Sounds like a secret government organization to me. Led by Shigeru Miyamoto, who directed the game along with Takashi Tezuka. The game focuses on Mario and Luigi, who embark to save Princess Peach and the rulers of 7 different kingdoms from the series' primary antagonist Bowser and his children, new to the series, the Koopalings. The two must traverse a total of 8 separate regions in order to restore order to the Mushroom Kingdom. Super Mario Bros. 3 builds on the gameplay of previous Mario games by introducing new power-ups used to augment character abilities, establishing several conventions that have been featured in all later titles of the franchise. Or at least some of them. Before the North American release, footage was released and appeared in the Universal Studios film The Wizard, which helped to fuel anticipation amongst fans. The game was an instant commercial success, ultimately becoming one of the best-selling video games of all time. Super Mario Bros. 3 was also well received by critics and ranked high in numerous greatest games of all time lists. The title's popularity resulted in a short-lived animated TV show and has since been ported over to several of Nintendo's later consoles, notably as part of Super Mario All-Stars for the Super Nintendo, which featured an updated version which would also subsequently be used for Super Mario Advance 4. 2D side-scrolling platform game. Some vertical scrolling exists. Very similar to all the other games in the series, but has several new elements. In addition to running and jumping, the player can fly and float with the aid of special items, slide down slopes, and execute new types of jumps. Super Mario Bros. 3 is set after the events of the previous games, where Mario and Luigi embark on a mission on behalf of Princess Toadstool to stop Bowser and his children, the Koopalings, from terrorizing the kings of the 7 regions of the Mushroom World. The Koopalings stole the king's magic wands and transformed them into animals. Each region serves as a game world that is divided into several stages, and an 8th region is included as the final world, the Darkland. The 8 worlds feature distinct visual themes. For example, the second world, being Desert Land, has sand and pyramids, while the 4th level, Giant Land, is populated with obstacles and enemies 4 times as large as they are in other worlds. We navigate through the game via 2 screens, the overworld map and the playfield. Overworld map displays an overhead representation of the current world and several paths along which lead up to a castle. Completing stages allow you to progress through the overworld map and onto succeeding worlds. Each world features a final stage with a boss to defeat. The first 7 worlds feature an airship controlled by one of the Koopalings, while the player battles Bowser and his castle in the 8th world. In addition to special items from the previous game like the Super Mushroom and Fire Flower, we have some new power-ups. Items vary in scarcity. For example, 1-ups, which give you an extra life, are abundant, while magic whistles, which enable you to warp to different worlds, only appear 3 times in the game. The Super Leaf and Tanuki suit give Mario, Raccoon, and Tanuki appearances, respectively, and allow him to fly or turn into stone to avoid enemies for a short period of time. Just like raccoons and tanukis can do. By the way, PETA, the good folks at PETA, were so upset at Mario wearing a tanuki suit. There's actually a game in which a tanuki, which has been stripped of its skin, must chase Mario down to get it back. Where is the frog game, I ask you? Anyway. Turning into a statue while being Tanuki results in Mario pounding the ground and killing what enemy are directly under him. This marks the first appearance of the ground pound move in a Mario game that was later given to Yoshi in Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, and that later became part of Mario's standard moveset in Super Mario 64 and subsequent games. And that's kind of weird because all you're doing is just landing on enemies you could pretty much normally kill anyway. So I'm going to have to disagree with that just a little bit. Other suits include the frog suit, which increases your underwater speed and agility and improves jumping height on land, but less mobility on land, and the hammer suit, which gives Mario the appearance of a hammer bro enemy and allows him to throw hammers at enemies and resist fire attacks. Just like Hammer Brothers can't. Some abilities provide that the suits are intended to give the player more navigation options in stages. For example, the frog suit allows the player to access underwater pipes, and the tanuki suit can temporarily transform Mario into an invincible statue, reducing the threat of damage. Additionally, in level 5-3, Mario can gain a power-up known as the Karibo's boot, or the Goomba's shoe, which allows him to stop unspiked enemies, munchers, and all the others which are common in that stage. The Karibo's shoe, oddly enough, or maybe not so much, was also named the rarest item in a Mario game about the time Super Mario World came out. Super Mario Bros. 3 was developed by Nintendo EAD and took more than 2 years to complete. Shigeru Miyamoto directed the designers and programmers, working with them closely during the initial concepts and final stages, encouraging a free interchange of ideas. Miyamoto considered intriguing and original ideas to be the key to creating a successful game. The game was designed to appeal to players of varying skill. To assist less skilled players, bonus coins and 1-ups are more abundant in earlier worlds, while later worlds present more complex challenges for more experienced players. In 2-player mode, the players alternate turns to balance playtime. The development team introduced new power-ups and concepts that would give Mario the appearance of different creatures as a means of providing him with new abilities. An early idea changed Mario into a centaur, but was dropped in favor of a raccoon tail that allows limited flying ability. Other costumes with different abilities were added to the repertoire, and levels were designed to take advantage of these abilities. New enemies were included to add diversity to the game, along with variants of previous enemies, such as Goombas, Hammer Brothers, and Koopa Troopas. The real-life experiences of Miyamoto and his staff provided the inspiration for new enemies. For example, the idea of a chain chomp came from a bad experience Miyamoto had with a dog as a child. Bowser's children were designed to be unique in appearance and personality, and Miyamoto based these characters on 7 of his programmers as a tribute to their work and efforts. How would you like to be the guy that was the basis for Iggy Koopa? The Koopalings' names were later altered to mimic names of well-known Western celebrities and the English localization, like Wendy O, Morton, Larry, Iggy, Ludwig von, Lemmy, and Roy. Character graphics were created using a special graphics machine. Ooh, I like the name of that. The Character Generator Computer-Aided Design that generated a collection of all the graphical shapes used in the game. Shapes in the collection were assigned numbers that the game's code uses to access in real time, and are combined to form complete images on the screen in real time. The Super Mario Bros. 3 cartridge uses the MMC3 chip to enhance the NES's capabilities. This allows for animated tiles, extra RAM for digital scrolling, and a scanline timer to split the screen. The game uses these functions to split the game screen into 2 portions, a playfield on top and a status bar on the bottom. Allow the top portion to scroll as the character navigates the stage, while the bottom portion remains static to display text and other information. Oh, that's how they did that. Sneaky, sneaky. During '88, a shortage of ROM chips, along with Nintendo of America's preparation for a version of Super Mario Bros. 2 for Western gamers, prevented Nintendo from releasing Super Mario Bros. 3 and some other games in North America on schedule. This delay, however, did allow Nintendo the opportunity to promote the game in The Wizard. So, how about that? During the movie's production, the filmmakers requested and were granted approval from Nintendo regarding the script and portrayal of the company's games. Super Mario Bros. 3 was one of the projects shown in the film and was used in a final scene involving a video game competition. The film was released in December of '89 between the Japanese and English releases of the game. What can you say? Everybody and their dog loves this game. We talked about that a bit. Phew, my goodness. It was a commercial success, obviously, and became one of the video game industry's best-selling games. The inclusion in The Wizard served as a preview and generated a high level of anticipation in the United States before its release. Levi Buchanan of IGN considered Super Mario Bros. 3 appearance in the film as a show-stealing element and referred to the movie as a 90-minute commercial for the game. By '93, the game had sold 4 and 7 million units in Japan and the United States, respectively. In the United States alone, the game generated over $500 million of revenue for Nintendo. Author David Sheff commented that in music industry terms, the game went platinum 11 times. In 2008, Guinness World Records listed the game as the best-selling video game to be sold separately from a system and reported worldwide sales. Me talk pretty one day. Of over 18 million copies. Game Informer reported that their October 29 issue that the Virtual Console version had sold 1 million copies. And as of 2011, Super Mario Bros. 3 remains the highest grossing non-bundled home video game to date, having grossed $1.7 billion, adjusted to inflation. The game introduced several elements which were carried over to later titles, such as the world map used in Super Mario World and New Super Mario Bros., and Mario's ability to fly has been a feature in Mario World, Mario 64, and Mario Galaxy. The Super Leaf has returned in more recent titles for the 3DS, like Super Mario 3D Land, Mario Kart 7, and New Super Mario Bros. 2. Bowser's red hair was first popularized in this game, though it was originally added in Super Mario Bros. Peach Hime Kushutsu Dai Sasuken. And everybody hates Jason now. In 1986, and has since become part of a standard appearance. Through a collaboration between NBC and Nintendo America, an animated television series titled The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3 was created in 1990 by DiC Entertainment. The show aired weekly and featured numerous characters, enemies, and settings from the video game. The original 7 Koopalings are given different names based on their given personalities, and are also given a new age order. What? Why? Other Nintendo products have included various elements from the game as well. Music from the game appears in a track on the Nintendo Sound Selection Koopa, a collection of songs from Nintendo games. The game's stages and graphics comprise a background theme in Tetris DS. The Koopalings are also in Super Mario World, Mario is Missing, Yoshi's Safari, Hotel Mario, and all the new Super Mario Bros. Games except New Super Mario Bros. The game has been ported to several other consoles in '93. It was included in Super Mario All-Stars. A Game Boy Advance version was released in 2003 with several updates, features graphics similar to the SNES remake. The release was a port of the SNES version along with larger color palette and parallax scrolling, although later not to the same extent. The Mario Brothers minigame allows up to 4 players instead of 2, and the Nintendo e-reader peripheral gives the player access to walkthrough demonstrations as well as new items and levels. In 2007, Super Mario Bros. 3 was released on the Wii through the Virtual Console, featuring the original graphics and gameplay of the NES version. Whew. What a year, folks. Super Mario Bros. 3 is a good game. It is a solid game. It is a fun game. You've played this game. That's why we're talking about it last. Everybody and their dog loves this game. I don't dislike the game. I enjoy the game. I like playing the game. However, I don't look at the game and think this is the best thing Nintendo has ever done on the NES. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it's not being a huge Mario fan. But I'll take the game out and I'll play it every so often. But I don't love it. Yeah, it's a good game. It's probably the best Mario. Technically, I mean, and I don't mean that, technically speaking, the technology there, is the best on the NES of Mario games. But still, it's a fun game. You got to play it if you haven't. And with that, we say goodbye to the 365 days of the NES. We've looked at so many games. Some I've played, some I haven't, some I love, some I hate, some I will play again, like in recent memory. Time Zone, I'm going to play that again. Some I'm never ever going to play again, like the Dungeons and Dragons games. Like that Hills Far thing. What the hell was the deal with that, right? Hopefully you've seen some games you've never seen before. Hopefully you've seen some games that interested you enough to go and look for them and try them. Hopefully you've enjoyed all of this. This was a lot of work. More work than I knew it was going to be a lot of work going into this, but I didn't realize how much work it was going to be. Oh boy. Hours. I'll break this down for you real quick before we wrap everything up in a nice pretty bow. If I have 10 minutes of gameplay, I have to take that 10 minutes of gameplay, record it, it's 10 minutes, encode it down, it's probably 2 minutes, or at 12 minutes. Then I have to spend about 10 minutes getting the graphics all ready, 10 to 20, we'll say 10. So now up to 22 minutes for a 10-minute thing. Find the graphics, put it together, 20 minutes. To go get all the information and record something like this, 10 more minutes, or up to 30 minutes. Put it all together. That means putting the intro stuff together, putting the episodes together, and then compiling all of that into one video. That's probably another 10 minutes. So for one 10-minute thing, we're looking at almost 45 minutes. Some longer, some less, but 45 minutes for each one of these. Think about that for a minute. 365 days, 45 minutes of video, divide that by 60, that's 273 hours in this stuff. 273 hours. If I was working a minimum wage job, that's almost $2,000. Now what do I get out of it? Scorn, grief, and contentment. That's just as good as money. Anyway, thank you again, everybody who watched all of these. If you did watch all of them, leave me a comment. I want to know, because that's really cool. Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? Would you like something like this in the future? Probably wouldn't do anything quite this big ever again, but I could do, put together something for Super Nintendo or Genesis or RPGs, multi-console things. There's a lot I could do. And if you'd like to see more, let me know. And if you like this format but wish there was more of this or that or the other, let me know. I'm always open to input and suggestions on this stuff because this was a brand new thing for me. Never done it before. So thank you again. I've gone on long enough. I appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you again.